Stellaris Unique systems. Unique systems can only spawn once per galaxy and are entirely predefined, as opposed to being randomly created. Each unique system has a unique event, anomaly, or archaeology site related to it. They will never appear in hyperlane choke points, and a few of them require distance from all empires to spawn, and they might not appear if the galaxy is started with a max number of fallen empires and AI empires, especially if advanced starts are used. Wenkwort. Wenkwort contains a Gaia world called Wenkwort Artem, which has the Wenkwort Gardens modifier that provides plus 20% job administrator output and plus 10% job researcher output, as well as a level 4 anomaly. When the anomaly is investigated, it grants a very large amount of society research and issues a special project on a barren world called Relrate and creates 3 neutral ancient mining drones that patrol the system. The special project adds a deposit of 3 society research to Relrate and gives it the PM planet from PM frame 1 terraforming candidate planet modifier, as well as a unique planet modifier granting it plus 3% mod pop happiness and minus 15% upkeep from jobs. Wenkwort Artem has a unique planet modifier called Wenkwort Gardens. When the planet is first colonized, the player will be contacted by a custodian robot and informed that industrialization of the planet is to be kept at a minimum. Helito. Helito is a binary system that contains a unique level 7 anomaly on one of its stars. Investigating it will grant a large amount of physics research and the option to reveal a new adjacent system called Dacha. Dacha contains 6 Gaia worlds, and entering it will grant a moderate amount of physics research. Each planet is colonized by a unique colony type early space age pre-FTL civilization called Habinti Unified Worlds. If an observation post is constructed and not cloaked, the civilization will gain 10 diplomacy awareness every month. 5 years after establishing first contact with Habinti Unified Worlds, they will ask the Empire to leave the system. If the offer is accepted, the Empire capital system will gain a size 25 Gaia world, but all observation posts in Dacha will be dismantled and new ones cannot be constructed. If the offer is refused or any Habinti Unified Worlds planet is invaded or targeted with a Colossus, all invading armies are destroyed, all ships in the system will go MIA and the hyperlane leading to the system will be removed. If the system is entered again via alternative means, hyperlane connections will be created with the nearby system and the pre-FTL civilization will immediately become a unique empire with all technologies of the empire that invaded, a fleet that uses 70% mod navy size naval capacity and a decaying minus 1000 diplomacy opinion towards the empire that invaded. Alpha Centauri. Alpha Centauri always spawn as a neighbor of Sol along Barnard Star, Procyon, and Sirius if Sol is chosen as a starting system. Alpha Centauri 3 will always match the climate preference of the primary species from Earth if guaranteed habitable worlds were enabled. Proxima Centauri B will be a frozen world with the PM tidal PM frame 3 tidal locked planet modifier and a level I anomaly. Investigating the anomaly will grant a small amount of unity and give Proxima Centauri B the PM planet from PM frame 1 terraforming candidate planet modifier. Sol. If none of the starting empires have Sol as their home system, there's a 50% chance that it will spawn in the galaxy. Earth can be found in one of 4 states. Unlike other pre-FTL civilizations, humans use regular flags and have additional armies. Trappist. Trappist is a real-life system that contains 3 habitable planets, 1 from each climate category, making it well above average, compared to the default game setting for habitable worlds. The features and possible modifiers of all planets are randomized. Odrischia. A randomly named system will contain an asteroid called the Cabin. Surveying it will reveal the debris belt archaeological site. Polaris. Polaris contains a size 23 ocean world with the unique D Station Ancient Sunken City planetary feature and the One Last Hope archaeological site. It is defended by a 3K molluscoid fleet named Polarian Automated Fleet. The fleet guarding it consists of 7 cruisers named after ice formations. The fleet is hostile, however it is not set to aggressive stance, simply blocking any approach to the system's star. After they are defeated, the system can be claimed as usual. Parvus. Parvus contains a size 22 desert world with a level 6 anomaly. Investigating it will give the planet a nanite swarm modifier that ensures 0% mod habitability and mod pop happiness if the planet is colonized, as well as issue a special project. The special project requires 300 days to be completed and brings 3 options. Studying the swarm grants the tech administrative AI technology. If already researched, it will grant a moderate amount of physics research instead. Destroying the swarm requires a fleet of 2K fleet power to be brought in orbit of the planet, removes the modifier and gives the planet the nanite swarm remains planetary feature. Taming the swarm requires the tech self-aware self-evolving logic technology and starts another special project that requires 300 days. Finishing it clears all blockers from the planet, terraforms it into one that matches the primary species climate preference and replaces the modifier with PM nanite PM frame 1 tamed nanite swarm. If you are void dwellers, it will terraform to a Gaia world. Xanem. Xanem contains Xanem, a size 25 Gaia world with the unique alien pets Valley of Xanem planetary feature and defended by an 11K fleet named Guardians of Xanem. The fleet guarding it consists of 24 destroyers, named from Alpha to Omega, which look like ancient mining drones but use far more advanced components. Upon entering the system, the player is given a message stating they will be destroyed. The fleet is hostile, however it is not set to aggressive stance, simply blocking any approach to the system's star. After they are defeated, the system can be claimed as usual. Sanctuary. Sanctuary contains an abandoned ring world of previous enigmatic observers. Originally created to act as a nature preserve and house primitive life, the system was abandoned but left guarded by multiple defense platforms of approximately 42K fleet power. Upon discovering the system, an Empire is contacted by the Automated Defense Facility, which explains the history and purpose of the facility and fires upon any ship that approaches it. However, the Sanctuary system is usually quite large, especially compared to other ring world systems, and the ranges of the platforms is limited. With a little bit of micromanagement, ships can easily be navigated through the system without entering combat. Despite having no engine modules, stations are, in fact, mobile, and therefore cannot be engaged with artillery ships from a safe distance, one by one. Defeating them may prove a challenge, but destroyed platforms are not rebuilt, allowing the system to slowly be overtaken. The ring world is almost completely intact and each habitable segment houses a randomized pre-FTL species, none of them advanced beyond the Steam Age. Any empire that manages to defeat the platforms can lay claim to the extremely valuable system and decide the fate of the inhabiting species. It should be noted that since the species have evolved and reached sapience on the ring world, they have the planet ring world climate preference, which hampers their ability to colonize without compensatory methods. Larionesi Refuge. Larionesi Refuge has deposits that total 5 physics, 11 minerals, and 4 alloys. It also contains a planet that will be a relic world if ancient relics is installed and a tropical world if the DLC is not installed. The planet has the Signal Archaeology Site. Ancient Manufactory. A random system in the galaxy will contain an asteroid field where one of the large asteroids is orbited by an ancient manufactory identical to the mining drone stations. Surveying the asteroid will reveal a level 3 anomaly. Investigating it will bring the option to either leave the manufactory alone. Xenophobe and fanatic xenophobe empires will gain 100 influence from this option. Start a special project to restore the manufactory with a fleet. Not available to fanatic xenophobe empires. Possible outcomes are granting the tech rare crystals manufacturing technology, launching the manufactory into the star and awakening 3 hostile ancient mining drones or crystalline entities. If the system has been claimed, another possible outcome is turning the manufactory into a mining station and adding a deposit of 10 minerals to the star. Ultima Vigilis. Ultima Vigilis is a system with an appearance similar to the contingency core system. The system does not have any hyperlane connection, so it can only be entered via jump drives. It contains 1 deposit of each advanced resource and a unique AI world, called Observation Terminal, with the ancient robot world archaeology site. The system is guarded by 3 fallen Empire fleets, each made up of 1 Titan, 5 battlecruisers, and 20 escorts. After successfully investigating the archaeology site, 5 options are displayed. Unless option 2 is chosen, there is a 50% chance that the unbidden can spawn prior to the endgame start date. If so, every 5 years there is an 80% chance for the crisis to trigger, with that chance increasing significantly after the endgame start date. As such, it is helpful to delay excavating the archaeology site until such a time that the player can defeat the crisis. Shoal Lash. A system that can only spawn bordering the xenophobic isolationists may contain Shalash, a tomb world orbited by 6 moons equidistantly that contains the ruined star system archaeology site that can be excavated. The system also contains multiple minerals deposits. It is patrolled by a xenophobic isolationist battlecruiser. Ruined ring world. A random system in the galaxy will contain a ruined ring world. As with all ruined megastructures, the ring world can be repaired if the Empire has the tech mega engineering technology. If the Distant Stars DLC is also installed, the star has a 50% chance to contain a unique level 6 anomaly. Investigating it will add a deposit of +3 physics research physics to the star. If the Empire is Civic Fanatic Purifiers or Civic Machine Determined Exterminator, it will gain 125 to 250 influence and 100 to 500 unity. Otherwise, investigating the anomaly will bring the option to either issue a special project to thaw the clones. The project takes 30 days to complete and will create on a random world 2 pops of a species mammalian normal 08 with the trait proles, strong, nerve stapled and trait PC nuke tomb world climate preference traits. If the Empire has the Civic Devouring Swarm Civic, it will instead gain 3502000 food and 100 to 500 unity. Leave the clones in stasis and a deposit of +4 society research to the star. If a ring world segment is repaired and colonized, the Empire will get the option to either instantly thaw the clones and create on the colonized segment 2 pops of a species mammalian normal 08 with the trait proles, strong, nerve stapled and trait PC nuke tomb world climate preference traits, or leave the clones in stasis and add the decryonic clones monument planetary feature to the colonized segment. CARE. A random binary system in the galaxy might contain a relic world. Surveying it will reveal the planetary machinery archaeological site that can be excavated. Finishing the excavation will open a dialogue window with CARE interactive interface. Agreeing to help it will issue the develop a cure for the Pharophage special project. Finishing it takes 10 years and grants the Armacano defragmenter relic, while the relic world gains a permanent +10% mod resource energy from jobs modifier. Refusing will grant 100 influence instead. Distant Stars systems. Junk Ratlings. A random pulsar system in the galaxy might contain a tomb world planet called Ruinous Core orbited by a tomb world moon called Lost Encampment, as well as various debris throughout the system. A similar nearby system will contain 3 tomb worlds, Silent Colony, Decayed Hub, and Crumbling Burrow. A second nearby system will contain a tomb world called Fallen Outpost. Unlike other Distant Stars systems, these systems will give a notification when one is entered for the first time. Surveying Ruinous Core will reveal a level 2 anomaly. Investigating it will grant a significant amount of society research. 25 to 35 years after the first system has been entered, a species called Kettling will emerge in any of the 3 systems that haven't been claimed by an empire. A special project will be added to investigate any tomb world in one of those systems, and doing so will grant a large amount of society research. Planets with Kettlings cannot be colonized but can be invaded. If invaded, they will suffer a culture shock identical to invading a pre-FTL civilization. Another 25 to 35 years after the Kettling have emerged, they will become the Kettling Star Pack. All their planets will be filled with buildings, and they will get 10 armies and a fleet of 8 cruisers, 8 destroyers, and 10 corvettes. If any of their systems have been invaded or claimed with a starbase, they will have a temporary -20 diplomacy opinion towards the starbase owner empire. The exact delay of both the species emergence and the empire creation are set at the moment the preceding event occurs, so reloading a save prior to their appearance will not change the delay unless the save is far enough back. Sea of Consciousness. A random binary star system might contain a size 24 ocean world with a unique appearance that does not contain landmasses among other uninhabitable planets. The planet has no blockers and has AD Betharian Fields planetary feature. It also has the unique PM Resort PM Frame 2 Sea of Consciousness planet modifier, which is removed if the planet is terraformed into anything except a continental or Gaia world. Surveying the planet will reveal a level V anomaly. Investigating it will not grant anything to a Gestalt consciousness empire, but will grant other empires a moderate amount of society research and issue a special project that requires a starbase if there isn't one already. Within half a year after the special project is completed, a scientist leader will request to leave for the planet and bring 3 options. Allow the scientist leader to leave. 1 year later the Empire will gain a random psionics technology. If all technologies are researched, it will instead grant a large amount of physics and society research. Disallow the scientist leader to leave. 3 months later the scientist will die. 10 years later the Empire will gain a random psionics technology. If all technologies are researched, it will instead grant a large amount of physics and society research. Remove the scientist leader, ending the event chain. If the scientist is dead, you will get a random psionic technology in 10 years instead of 6 months. Win Tomb World Civilizations. This star system contains 2 tomb worlds, both with humanoid colony type Bronze Age civilizations with the origins post-apocalyptic origin. Surveying the second tomb world will reveal a level 3 anomaly. Investigating it will grant a moderate amount of society research. The species are always the following. This system will not spawn if primitives have been disabled. Gish. A Class B star system contains a shielded world typically called Gish, showing a desert planet underneath, although the name may vary. Surveying will reveal a level 4 anomaly. Investigating it will bring the option to either repair the shield with a science ship to add a 8 physics and 4 society research deposit to the world for a few decades. Interrupt the time loop with a science ship, gaining a small amount of physics research. There is a 50% chance of the world turning into a tomb world and a 50% chance of creating the Perkikiti Empire. Leave the planet alone and gain 150 of physics and society research. Around a decade later the Perkikiti Empire will emerge. Paradata. This system can only be found through the ancient Hulk anomaly. By choosing the option to search for the planet will start a special project. Finishing it will create a neighbor system and point to a barren world inside. Choosing to investigate further when entering the system will start a special project to investigate the planet with a science ship. Finishing the special project takes 60 days and will reveal the planet as a size 25 Gaia world with the colony type Stone Age Mardak Vol civilization and the unique PM Natural PM Frame 1 Paradata planet modifier. A few days after the system has been claimed, a species called the Vol will arrive with a fleet to purge the Mardak volume. Accepting will destroy the civilization and add a removable blocker to the planet. Refusing will have the fleet attack the system. If their fleet is not defeated, they will bombard the planet with the Armageddon stance. Once all Mardak Vol pops are killed by bombardment, all tiles on the planet will get 4 removable blockers. Accepting is the recommended course of action, as not only does it avoid the fight, but the Mardak Vol would take a long time to enlighten or remove stellar culture shock and have the trait PC Gaia world climate preference. In addition, if the planet is colonized, the colonists will gain plus 10% mod pop happiness for 10 years.